Welcome into the first edition of Cousins Conversations right here on my YouTube page. Every week, I'll be talking to members of the media industry to give you a little more information and show you a little bit about the industry that I'm in. And this first guest this week, the voice of the Clinton LumberKings, Andres Tejeda. The LumberKings, a member of the Prospect League, a summer collegiate baseball league that had a very good season. And some breaking news right after the interview aired was Jack Dahm, the LumberKings manager, moving on to the Cape Cod League, a very prestigious league when it comes to baseball. Without further ado, let's get right to the interview. When Jalen's going up to the plate with a runner on third, what's going through your mind as the broadcaster?
Yeah. Well, first, the inning started off with a runner at second, which I'll be honest, at the beginning, I thought there was no Manfred man rule in playoffs. So when the Bees came up with a runner at second, I'm just like, what's going on? So, anyways, well, when we had a runner, Drew Phillips, to pinch run, actually, too, first was the pass ball, and then he goes to third easily. And I'm like, okay, Jalen's here. It's a 1-0 count, 2-0 count, 3-0 count. And in the clip, I actually say he's going to be taking here with a 3-0 count, and he hits a chopper right to second. In my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to go really good or really bad. But I mean, in the moment, you also just got to keep very even keel. So that's something my brother's actually been trying to teach me. He's like, you get really excited for a lot of different things, and you got to find a way to calm down. So in that moment, it's, you're just like an athlete, make sure you make the right call. But when Jeremy Figueroa, who was on the team the last time the LumberKings hosted the Northwest Division, well, it was called the Great River Division at that point, made the diving stop. He definitely could have made a play at the plate. I looked at it a couple times, like, oh, it could have gone either way. At least maybe a play to first to get Martinez out. But Martinez has been the guy who's walked it off for us 2, 3 times this season. So having that guy come up, especially as a returner, he was an all-star last year for the Prospect League, Gold Glove winner for the NAI in left field. I mean, that is a top caliber guy, and there's nobody else you want up in that spot. That being said, the mantra all year is next guy up. Everyone knows their job. Everyone knows what the job that needs to be done is there. And Martinez with a 3-0 count, which most coaches would be like, what are you swinging at a 3-0 count for when the guy's been pitching all over? I mean, he sees the ball well, pokes it over to the right side with the infield in, and got the job done.
What is it about Jalen in those moments? You mentioned all the walk-offs he had. What do you think it is just about him in that moment that he has that clutch gene?
Yeah. He's played at two other Division I schools. He played at Arkansas State, Ball State, and then is now at NAI at Weber State University. And he has just been a guy who grinds, who has been a leader in the clubhouse. Um, Jalen just has this way about him. He knows ball well. He knows how much Clinton wanted, to go all the way to the ship. Unfortunately, that was not the case, but Jalen just has this different mentality when it comes to baseball. He was actually supposed to be brought on as like a hitting mentor and coach, but he had eligibility left, so we're like, let's bring him back on the team. So, I mean, having a guy who's been in those tough situations, who's been in a playoff game, because I mean, we went last year, lost to the Pistol Shrimp. He knows what's on the line. So when you got a guy who's got the mentality and the know-how of playing well on the field and at the plate, and knows how to rally these guys around, I mean, you get a really good athlete right there.
To get over that hump this year, like the LumberKings
Mhm.
did, that was the first time they were playing for the conference championship since 2021. What do you think that did for the team and the organization?
Well, I mean, first off, congratulations to the Cape Catfish. They've officially won game one of the championship series of three. But the Cape Catfish, and with just knowing what's going on with Clinton and how bad Clinton wants a championship, I think the guys knew that very well. And I mean, we had the lead I think it was the bottom of the fifth inning. We scored 1 run, and it was a one run game up until the eighth inning. It tied it, and then the 2-run bomb later by, I think it was Newhouse or Nias, um, just got us over the hump. And I mean, that was some of the best pitching we saw all year. So I know the guys going into the trip, it was a 6.5 hour drive down south. These guys were locked in, they were ready. Jackson Tejada pitched so well. It was probably his best outing when it came to just like the number of pitches, because he's usually a guy who puts the pitch count up a lot. His best start before that was a 10 strikeout start, and like maybe start 3 or 4 of the year. but that was probably his best start. He's getting guys fanning, pop-ups, they're getting underneath the ball. He's got a fastball that rises a little bit, so he was able to keep those bats down. And fortunately, it was just one good swing of a bat on a pitch low and in that went over the wall that unfortunately ended the Lumber King season. But these guys knew what was on the line. They wanted to win just as bad. And I think this is the first team we've had where, unfortunately, with college ball, you have guys coming and going. And a lot of guys stayed. A lot of our core stayed. I mean, at the beginning of the season, we had three or four different lineups we could go to. We had so many infielders, great pitching. And this was the best lineup we had going into the playoffs. And unfortunately, the Cape Catfish beat us. A very well pitched game, very well hit game. Um, but it was definitely a tough loss, but the guys knew exactly what was going on. And on the trip home, I mean, there was a lot of that sentiment of, hey, we played our best. There's nothing to hang our heads about. This is probably the best Lumber King seasons we've had since the 2021 season.
What was that message coming back? I saw the video of a lot of the guys in the locker room once they got
Yeah.
back to Clinton, just kind of embracing each other. What was the whole mindset of the team after that loss?
Yeah. So we stayed at the hotel that night. Jack Dom, on the way home, when we got to the hotel, was just like, we have nothing to hang our heads about. This is a good team that you guys lost to. It stinks that it's a best of one because if we had a best of three, oh, you know Lumber Kings win one of those games. Um, I definitely think if we host it at home, we win that game 9 times out of 10. And unfortunately, with the league rules, it's whoever has the best win percentage. And the Cape Catfish had a .001 better win percentage than we did. So it's like this is as evenly matched as you get. And so Jack told all the guys that they played their hearts out. It was the cleanest fundamental game we've had. I mean, so many plays. Jalen Martinez again, cutting the runner down, coming around to score in the second inning from left field. Brett White making one heck of a catch against the wall on a ball that looked like it was going to leave. I mean, it was the cleanest game I think I've seen all year. Lumber Kings finished, I think, with 37 errors on the year. That's just 1.3 errors a game in a 60 game season. The only team I think that had less was maybe the Pistol Shrimp with like 65. Cape Catfish had 75 errors, but I mean this team played very well, and Jack made it very well known that there was nothing that we could have done better. I mean, that was the best effort we put out, and unfortunately, it just didn't go our way.
There's a lot of returners who were on last year's team, on this year's team. Of course, Jack Dom, he's kind of been a mainstay and a great coach as well. What does this do going forward as far as progression, growth, those types of things?
As far as going forward, it's always tough to say, well, what's going to happen next year, just because you don't know who's coming back next year. When it comes to college ball, it's whoever is the head coach, and at this point, it's Jack Dom, who's been at the helm for the last 4 or 5 seasons now, and he just has connections of who are the guys that are going to be up and coming. He also makes sure that guys who do well at this league will move on to the next level, either whether that's going to Northwoods leagues, Cape Cod leagues, or any other league around the state. We actually had a few guys from last year go play in the Alaska Collegiate Summer League. So I mean, we had so many Lumber Kings all over the place. So it's hard to kind of pinpoint what next year's going to look like because we don't know at this point, and we probably won't know until February and March once those signings get in who's going to be the next team of the Lumber Kings. But I think if Jack and a lot of the core guys are back next year, um, there's going to be a lot of stories and a lot of redemption coming in. Like, hey, we came close. We were one game away from hosting at home, hosting the Prospect League Championship. That's the goal this year. The goal every year, once the guys come in, is we want to win that first half. That's step number one, and then step number two, we got to win, have the best record, so we have the best chance to host. And the way that the numbers were looking, it didn't look like we were going to host many games at home. That just happened to work out that Rex lost to Lafayette. Lafayette got hot at the right time. The O'Fallon Hoots, who were the best team in baseball, had a 17-game winning streak to almost nearly end their season, best winning streak in Prospect League history. They got cold. It's getting hot at the right time. So it's like, okay, what do we have to do next year to get back to where we are and do better? So I definitely think this year is a great stepping stone for next year. But again, it's really tough to tell when you don't know who's coming back next year. I mean, guys express interest; they want to come back, but nothing's set in stone until those signs come in and we're ready to go with our rosters.
And of course, we'll be looking forward to that environment for that game at Nelson Corp was insane. It's loud the
Oh
whole
yeah.
time. People are invested. We even like our anchor back in the studio, Evan. He could hear how loud it was when I sent back the highlights, and he kept mentioning that just how loud it was
Oh
there.
yeah.
People were engaged. It was just an awesome environment. Clinton really embraces that team.
Hmm. Yeah, Clinton. I mean, I've shared it on my social media. I mean, as a director of broadcast and media relations, I do all the things that go on social media, or most of all things. And I did the highlight reel, and just that last ninth and tenth inning, I just remember hearing my own voice. I'm like not to like sound like I was choking up or anything, but it was just like I've never experienced this before. We had a prospect league playoff game my first year here. It was a Sunday afternoon, but we didn't have that many fans. I mean, it was still loud. Oddly enough, Jeremy Figueroa, who smothered the last ball in the game for the walk off for Jalen Martinez, hit a go ahead home run to left field in that game against the Quincy Gems, and that place was going crazy. But I think the energy at Nelson Court Field, the fans at Nelson Court Field, they know what baseball means here, and I'm glad to have been a small part of that history, or experience that part of the history, because that game, that first game of the Northwest Division, that's a game that goes down for ages. I mean, two former Midwest League teams meeting up for the first time in the playoffs since 1999. First time for the Bees. LumberKings have lost the last two first rounds. Like, it doesn't get better than that. And the Bees, kudos to them. They had a great season at the end of the year. They were getting hot at the right time, and they got hot at the right time in that game with two outs. The LumberKings were a strike away from clinching two times, and they found a way to battle, get the bases loaded, get the tying runs to cross the score. Bees easily could have won that game, but without the LumberKings fans there, I don't think we win that game.
For sure, yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. A little bit down to the last
Yeah.
strike, and then it's like extra innings. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
I know for you, you have exciting news as well. What you're doing kind of after this baseball season. So just kind of keep people in on what you're doing and how excited you are for that.
Yeah, so I just signed papers to be the voice of the Brisbane Bandits in the American Baseball League, or American Australian Baseball League. Yeah, it's still setting in for me. It's my first professional baseball gig. I've done pro sports before. I worked for the Rockford Ice Hogs and was their pregame show host, but this is the first time I get to be a professional broadcaster for a professional team for professional athletes. There's already so many huge signings right now. And with if anyone's been following the Australian Baseball League, there was a point in time in the last month where there might not have been a season with teams leaving and wanting to go elsewhere, but the league found a way to make it happen. There's gonna be a four team tournament for 10 weeks. Top two teams will play for the championship. So the Brisbane Bandits have been a historic franchise out in the ABL, and they got a pretty good shot this year. But I'm just excited to go and call ball in the winter. Avoid Midwest winters if I can. So I've been able to do that kind of consistently. I've called games out in the shout out to the California Winter League in Palm Springs. I did that for 2 years. So I've been able to avoid winters for a couple of years. But being in Brisbane, being on the Gold Coast of Australia, that's going to be something completely different, so new. And hopefully, another stepping stone in my career. I mean, I don't get to Brisbane without Clinton. I actually wasn't sure if I'd be coming back this current year, but a lot of different things just worked together, and it worked out very well. A lot of support from my family, from my fiance, to let me go ahead and keep doing this pipe dream. And I mean, again, it's been a great 6 7 years. I've been calling college ball, Division One, D3, professional hockey, and now professional baseball. Um, if the road ends in Brisbane, I mean, I'm glad I got to do it professionally and I got to do it at an international level. So that's something no one can take away, and I'm really excited to do it and call pro ball in Australia.
And the big plus, avoiding that Midwest winter, like you said.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I went to school in Minnesota, so I've gotten the harsh, the cold. I mean, being from Chicago, that wind chill comes in, and it's cold. But yeah, I mean, avoiding the Chicago winters is always a plus.
And then last thing, I'll just let people know where they can follow you and what for
Yeah.
Australian baseball. People want to
Yeah,
watch.
so place to follow me on all social media is Andres on air, AndresOni or AIR. You can follow me on all social media. I post a lot of stuff on TikTok, mostly TikTok now. Instagram, my Twitter is going to have a whole bunch of stuff. And then I also have an official Facebook page where I post more so like the bigger news and things like that. So yeah, I appreciate everyone who's stuck around and supported my career from Clinton to Rockford to everywhere and even Quad Cities where you're at. So yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I've loved the Lumber Kings, and I'm not where I'm at without them.
Andres, thank you, man, for joining me on here, and we look forward to what you're doing next.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nick. Really appreciate your time.